What up, everyone?
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 What up, everyone? What up, everyone?
What up, everyone?
What up, everyone?
What up, everyone? What up, everyone?
What up, everyone? What up, everyone? What up, everyone?
What up, everyone?
What up, everyone?
What up, everyone? Welcome, everybody. We are back with another podcast, and as you can see, this is the last podcast of the year and of this season. And as usual, Patrick is with me.
Back everyone. So yeah, I think you should carry on a little bit. I have some technical issues here.
Oh yeah, of course. This podcast will not have a specific topic more than our YouTube channel. And we'd just like to summarize what happened this year on YouTube mostly, of course, and what is going on right now, and most importantly, our plans to next year, because we have a lot of them. Of course, we didn't like to spoiler down every ideas of ours, but the main point will be told. Um, and yeah, just firstly, we've got all the index pictures of our videos, podcasts here on today's podcast. Uh, and it's very important to highlight we're gonna have one more video around this week if everything goes well today. But like, as you know, technical issues can come across, but we hope today it will be released. If it's not, it will be released this week for sure, which is about this year, um, which is about 2020, not our 2020, but 2020. And and yes, I think we can just start right into the topic, because this is all I've got as a for starter. So it's very important to start with the past, which is our first video that was released back in January, January 31st, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right. We said that was like the most viewed video as well, around 300 views. So it was like a huge banger for us.
Yeah,
For the first video, of course.
yeah, it reached 301 views, exactly. Uh, I just can see it right now because I'm on our channel. And yeah, this was the starter. This video was made together. Actually, this was the only one which in both of us uh, was playing in the video itself. Of course, we've been working together in the background. This was just a decision we made back in February, if I'm not mistaken, that I will be mostly the one who gonna play in the videos. I don't know. We don't have a future plan about this though. Like if it will change or if it will remain like this. I think for the close future it will remain like this. But of course it can change in the future. Um, and yep. Could you just a little bit carry on? Because I've got
Of
to
course.
set my microphone.
Yes, definitely. So, yeah, you were right the whole time during that because it was like a decision between both of us because I felt quite uncomfortable during that recording of that specific video, like the first one. And I don't know whether you can see it or not, but it was really tough for me because it was weird for me for the first time, just like talking to like a camera, and I felt like different, and it was really uncomfortable. So this is why we made that decision. Yeah, I'm kind of pussy here because since then I've never tried to actually. So, but like, yeah, of course, this will sound a little bit like bullshitty, but next year I will try to, not like I'm going to, but I will try to improve these skills, like uh behaving in front of the camera and do do what you have to do. So yeah, this will be like one of my goals. It's like a personal goal, of course, but I believe that for the channel it will be like a huge change as well. And via this change, like more videos actually could be released in the future, maybe. And of course, I will take like a bigger part of the team because right now I believe 80% of the channel is under the control of Roland. He does actually everything. The videos, like almost every edit was made by him. Uh, so yeah, I'm just podcasting right now, and of course, the reason behind this is like a simple thing that YouTube is not like my first thing when it comes down to priorities. YouTube is like a hobby for me as well, but not that like essential as for Roland, for instance. So this is why uh, I've chosen not to actually fuck up his path towards his goals because I believe I was just like a weight to his feet and he couldn't actually carry on moving on uh, because of me because I was like break and this was like one of the reasons. This was like one of like the biggest reason of all why I'm not like acting in front of camera. Yeah, and just to spread some positivity here, um, this will definitely change, and I will try to actually carry on because I regarding the fact that in front of camera I actually act like pussy, but behind camera, I really enjoy YouTube things. So I really enjoy editing videos. I really enjoy color grading, um, um, like podcasting, for instance, and talking to you guys. I really enjoy this, and I would never mind to run a podcast which is actually recorded by cameras, and this will be like uh, a future thing as well. I believe so, if we can make it. But we will talk about this later as well. And just one additional thing to this first video. Um, I don't know what you think about this. There will be a question for you right now. I'm not sure whether you're back or not. Are you? Can you talk?
Yeah, of course.
Right. So I believe that this video was the most viewed because of the fact that during the first half of 2019, 2019, yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
No, no. Was it like last year or was it like this year?
2019, last year.
Yeah, 2019. So, um, I believe that back in those days, environmental protection and the pollution and global warming and all things considering like your environment and how can we develop that and how we ruin our planet was a huge topic back then. It was like quite hyped back in those days. And I believe this is one of the reasons why we have reached that amount of people with this video. And one additional thing that we held like, or would you like to talk about this actually?
You can of like you. I
Right.
think you totally can.
All right. So, we had like, was it like a competition thing or was it like presentational like?
I think more like presentational, like
Yeah. So
yeah.
to explain, to try to clear this whole thing up. So, on January the 31st, we held presentations or presentation in our school, considering environmental protection and our environment, and all from schools of your students actually came in our school, and they have listened to us, and they've watched our presentation. They witnessed some interesting facts and things, and I believe that during our presentation, or actually at the end of the presentation, we actually made up like a little like a commercial for our YouTube channel that you should watch this video, because in this video we actually talk about environmental protection like more in detail, and of course it's in English, so you can improve your skills as well or whatnot there, you know. So yeah, this was like one of the things that I believe helped to reach that
Yes.
level. I mean, yeah.
Yes, indeed. I don't have anything to add to this particular video. I just like to jump on the other ones. I don't think we will talk in the details about them, but like, we followed with quarantine video because it's very funny, as the first video came in January and the second one in March, when everyone got into quarantine. It was because of some personal stuff that doesn't really matter, I guess. um, like in this year, there were some messy stuff going on. And we decided to create a video on quarantine. And it also went pretty well. This was the second video of ours. It reached around 130 views, and it's very, very good, I think. Mostly it was because of the virality of coronavirus, and it did pretty well. It was more like a motivational video than a science video, because like all the scientist stuff weren't sure back in March about coronavirus. Like no one knew, so we couldn't have a sure information about this. And then there was our first very, very science video about oxygenating Mars, which did again pretty well. We can see how we go further in the future, how views were sort of lost depending on the video. But this is mainly because of that, like, these videos are older and there were more time for people to watch it.
So yeah, we have to mention that when the second video was released, this quarantine type of motivational stuff, then that video, that very first, was like around just like 150 views. So it doubled it like during this year.
Yeah. So yeah, it can be seen, because like I really hope it's not showing that we getting on the wrong path, because I don't think so, honestly. As even though the videos which are in the next half of the year have less views, that I don't think that represents we would get any worse, because I in fact in quality we get better, both in edit and both in video quality, and also the topics, of course. But I will talk about this a little bit later, because there is a very important thing. We had our podcast, our first podcast, which is about, again, COVID-19. With podcast, we wanted to introduce very new things to our channel, and also wanted to catch on with our opinions. And so we started with something very viral, and that couldn't be anything but coronavirus. Yep. Any thoughts? Because like this is the first podcast.
Yeah, so I don't know whose idea was podcasting, but I believe considering not just like the views, but all the experiences and all the learning phase during these videos, because of course in order to talk about you have to know shit about that. So considering this, I would say that our podcasts are quite good
Yes.
because like it flows. Like right now we can actually talk like hours and hours about nearly everything almost. So I believe our podcasts are quite interesting. Not considering like our language mistakes and things like that. And sometimes we have technical issues, but who doesn't? So, and podcasting is like um, is really hard to get people with podcasts because I believe that watching two people talking to each other about things isn't gonna bring in too many people.
Yeah.
So we have to be clear about the fact that our first podcast actually reached 77 views, and it's huge for us because of course it was because of COVID-19. It's in the title, and this was our first podcast, and I believe during that time it was one of the most viral topics of the whole world. The beginning of this whole era that we live in right now. So this is one of the reasons, and of course we try to actually make like different types of topics, like try to talk about these, of course, and considering everything, of course, the amount of people who watch podcasts, all of the views of podcasts actually uh, were decreased, of course. Um, but I don't think we mind that, so it's not like a serious thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. 1 second. I just have to close the door.
Right. So yeah, and of course, next next video of ours was a podcast again, and it was about George Floyd and SpaceX, and it was like a weird combination between the two because, of course, um, George Floyd's. I believe everybody heard about like Black Lives Matter movements and things like that, and all of these things back in June. Was it like back in June? I
June.
just
Yeah.
can't remember.
The
Yeah,
podcast
so
itself was in June.
yeah,
Um.
but like the whole incident was like back in May, I believe,
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, it was in May.
at the end
Um.
of.
Yeah. But around
So he,
that time. Right.
yeah, around June, and of course, as you can see, between like January the 31st and between June June the 2nd, um, there's only like 3 videos, and it's not a lot. And of course, it was because of our first like impressions and all of these external things. We were like struck by those. So quarantine, for instance, we really had to be at home. We couldn't meet our friends, so it was like quite a depressing time, I believe, for most of us.
Yeah.
For instance, for me, it was like shit, and I believe that the first weeks were the same for you as well. So you had to work on something new. You had to change, and it was hard and it was tough. We
Yeah.
have to say that. Yeah. So this is like because, and I believe this is where views were a little bit like lost because right after you on like a trending thing, we can say that more people watch your videos, and then you really need to you really need to consider quantity over quality. And I believe that we weren't like aware of that fact back then in January and February and March, because we, or at least we always try to put like great content and quality. This is why we don't have like a bunch of videos. Like, of course, we have some bunch of videos, but we could have had like hundreds of them. But we decided to keep it like quality considered, and quality, yeah, over everything.
Yeah, and um, yeah, that's definitely true, and it's important to see how after this we've got some videos in June, like the LGBT history, and then the aliens podcast, and then the Lego video. These all done pretty well, like around 50 views, all of them. Uh, and that was again very very great. Um, and also we started improving in quality around this time. So even though we didn't uploaded so much video in the first half of the year, we were getting ready to do so, and it could be seen in the video qualities of these videos in June and the podcasts. Also, after these three podcasts came, this was because uh, me and Patrick were going on a holiday, and we wanted to create some extra content for you. And there were podcasts about Apple, about traveling. Surprisingly, I didn't even know, but the traveling podcast did very well with 30 views. And then there is about one about lucid dreaming, and again another one about social media. So these were four podcasts in a row. But this had a reason why, and this had to be like that because we were going on a holiday. Um, and yep, after this, we've got videos on fantasy, which was a psychology, and this video I think is important because, if I'm not mistaken, this was the first one that was edited by Patrick. Uh, right?
Fantasy video, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and it was really good because it had again a different kind of edit, uh, and and this was starting to build up something, uh, which I think we can say we're working on, like to have a better sharing in working in YouTube. Um, Even though like we didn't much follow it throughout the year, but later on in the future we plan to extend this and to have a better work share, which started back in July.
Yes, definitely.
Yep. And then again, universe video, how the universe was born. This was a real interesting one, I think, because uh, this was one of the most scientific videos we had. Uh, if somebody, I just a fun fact about me, I really love the topic of universe. I really love astronomy and physics. Uh, and anytime when I create or we create a physics themed video, I just really love them. Of course, I love, like, I don't create videos which I don't like, but like these are the most loved ones by me. Um,
Reasonable, actually, quite interesting universe, of course.
yeah. And then we've got again another video which is edited by Patrick, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And this is really good. It did 73 views, and this was a hit in summer, because this was the last video in summer, and this was a big hit, I think. Uh, and this is one of the favorite videos for me. Uh, like the
Yeah, so
Yeah, the physics ones. I mean, the theme itself is the favorite, but the favorite video is this video for me, or one of the favorites, at least because uh, this is the funny thing. I really don't like reading, and this was the first time I enjoyed reading a book and actually wanted to read a book. I never really done. Like, okay, the compulsory ones, but that doesn't really count. Uh, and I really had some great. I think I had some great thoughts about it, and it was edited by Patrick. So you'd like to add something?
it was a fun edit to make actually. This was a quite interesting topic, and of course, um, when you don't know anything about the topic like this book, because it's like about a book, but like more of the ideas which in this creature, of course. However, I had to do a lot of research during editing this video because, of course, you have to know the concept of these things, because without the concept, without the ideas, without like fun facts and things like that, you don't know how to actually put together a video because you don't have like you don't have like the flow, like you don't have the vibe, you just can't actually create something without having experience in those topics and things. So this is why I believe editing a video is quite hard, because you have to be aware of the things considering a specific topic, of course, and you have to dig further in order to get to know more things, in order to broaden your horizon, actually, because you need to, in order to edit a video which could be like a good edit, I believe so. And this is why I had to do this, because I didn't know anything about the book, I didn't know anything about the person who is actually Peterson, but I don't know like the first name. Was it like the video from? No. I'm just switching up things. It was the fantasy video. The fantasy video was made about like the thoughts of a man who is Peterson, but I don't know. Yeah, Jordan Peterson. Yeah. Further ado, yeah.
I honestly don't know. Like, I'm sorry, but like, so these videos were created very close to each other, even though they weren't released very close to each other. And in my mind, they are totally mixed up. Like,
Yeah. This is the same for me, because I've edited those two videos in 3 days, right after the other. But I can't remember which was the first and which was the second. But
yeah.
this is why I switched up things. So the reason, so the main thing is that it was a fun video to make, and this topic is quite interesting. That you literally need to be chill, man. You literally need to actually try to like avoid things, and you just need to like give a fuck, because
Yeah.
life is hard. It is true, but sometimes you just need to take a step back and just watch what actually will life do.
Yeah. And just give a fuck about the things that matter. That was like maybe the main concept of the whole book.
of course. You have to concentrate on your like priorities, of course. You have to worry about those, but those things that are just like compulsory sometimes, but just you don't need them in life, so just don't care about that, man.
Yeah.
Who cares? Who cares whether you do like good in school? You bring home well grades when you actually don't want to be like, for instance, you don't want to be like a doctor, or you don't want to be like a lawyer, because sometimes school is not needed for things. For instance, we don't learn YouTube, we don't study about social media, and this is what we actually care about the most. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, do be very true. Uh, and I think just moving on, it is fine for you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Totally.
so we've got some videos in September. I hope yeah, that was the September. Uh, it's just about Avatar: The Last Airbender uh, quotes. Um, and this was again very similar to the subtle art video though. I haven't really realized because for me a lot of time was between the two. Uh, Creating like it was 2 months between them, and I never even realized that they were very similar because it was again about a kind of thing I watched and some quotes about it and my thoughts on it. But I think was a sort of a cool lesson, a cool way to talk about some serious things and not just the regular way when you try to force it but you cannot really. And this way, some serious thoughts could be talked out um, without any pressure, as it was connected to a cartoon, a really good one though. And I think Patrick cannot really add anything to this because he doesn't. He never watched the series, and yeah.
That's definitely true. Yeah, it was like those 16 minutes. I just can't add anything to that. So
Yeah, understandably. Yep. And then we had again two podcasts. A summer one, like ending summer podcast, and an AI podcast. I think from these, I like how we chosen the two because it's very polarizing from each other. As the summer one was more like a chilly, even though we talked about lockdown, of course, and about what's gonna come and stuff like that. But the AI one again was like a scientific topic and a very future topic, and I loved it. Like these shows how variety content we can create on this channel, and I think we do. Uh, Even if like we have very few views, but I think this is appreciated that we create variety content.
yeah, this is 100% true.
Yeah, and then again came a universe video. This is about the Kardashev skill. This is like improving civilization situation. If you're interested, just watch the video. It's very complicated, but I again very loved creating it. And then another podcast about successful way of learning, and this was I think one of the coolest topic we had, as it's very underrated, but it's one of the most important things in life.
A key to life, of course, because at least you participate in education for 8 years or 10, if we count like preschool, or
Yeah.
with that 11, almost 11 at least. But most of people, they usually actually get like a high school education as well, and then they go to college and drop out, or actually like do college as well. So we usually tend to learn in school. We tend to study during college for like adding these all together. It equals like 16 years or more.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, 16 years. Yeah. At least 16 years of studying
yeah, but
and learning.
uh and also there are people like me. I already know that I will be at least 26 when I finish school. But maybe I will be 28. Uh,
Of course,
but
it's a
yeah,
thing.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so 1/3 of my life will be dependent on education. Um,
1/3 of your life you actually don't know. Uh, Not like don't know, because we know, fortunately, but it thanks to ourselves. We can thankful for ourselves. We can thank our mindset and our way of thinking of life,
yeah,
because in school we were taught nothing about this. How to actually learn, how to study, how to memorize things, how to improve, how to develop your skills. Nothing was mentioned during this 12 years.
yes. Uh, and
And,
like
and it's actually fucked up. It's fucked up. We have to say that.
yeah, and for fun thing to mention here, uh, during the time we're doing YouTube, I think I learned more things than ever. Just an exact example, my English never improved this much, and like this was no connection with the school English, uh like especially if we're counting that we've got half a year of quarantine when there was not even a single class for English for us. Like there were in theory, but like they weren't any improving. Um, and so if we count that in with YouTube, I think my English, for example, just developed to next level, and like that's a very different way to learn. That's very different, and understanding, for example, how to learn a language this way is very very important, because language is one of the most important skills you can get. Knowing English and knowing other languages which is not your mother language. Uh, and yeah, it's not thought. It's for me. It came with practicing YouTube.
Same.
Yeah, and I think we can just move on to just not have a very very long podcast. We've got another video on dyslexia. It wasn't that liked, though, but I really enjoyed creating this. And it's because it was the first, I think, video, maybe the second if we count in the LGBT video. But anyway, the first video that was awareness spreading, that I think is very important from educational channel to spread awareness on things that are not spread. And for example, understanding dyslexia and dysgraphia is very important and underrated, I think. Yeah, and I don't know if you've got anything to add.
I actually don't have anything to add to this video, neither, because I didn't participate in that video actually. So
Yeah, I see. Yep, and then again, Healthy Podcast, this Has a Way of Life podcast. I think this was just like, we just come to the day when we will got this podcast because it was obvious we will talk about it one day. Especially like Patrick is very into Healthy Way of Life. I sort of used to be, and I'm sort of starting to be again in it. And yeah,
I really like that one. Actually,
yeah,
it was close to me. It was close to you, I believe. So
yeah. And also, we have to highlight we haven't just talked about sports and eating and stuff, which you would generally count in to healthy life because that's not just healthy life. And I'm glad we haven't just talked about that, but we talked about actually a healthy life and what.
it's like both mentally and physically, and of course what you need to do.
Yeah,
Like like it was like an example made up like by us. So it's like what we do in order to live a healthy life. So it was like, yeah, that's that. And of course, we need to remember that health is wealth.
yes, yes, yes. And then uh, we've got two smart city topic. First was smart city video, and then a smart city podcast. And I really liked both of them. As like in the smart city video, I could learn a lot about smart cities and finally understand the basics of them. And then in the podcast, we talked about our opinions on smart cities, and like it's a very debatable topic. So I think it was very great to bring it in.
My favorite podcast of all, Smart City. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then we've got one on the new iPhones. This is just because of the interest. I think nothing else to add for it. Yep.
One of us is a literal tech nerd, we have to say.
Yeah. I actually am. That's just the honest truth. I'm.
But it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting that we literally could talk like an hour and 10 minutes about the latest iPhone, and of course we covered a lot of things considering Apple as well and the technology as well. As you all know, when we talk about something, we try to like see all the 100,000 sides of that topic. So this is why it took that long, I believe so, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. Regarding the fact that I'm not like into technology and things like that.
Yeah. And I think we may have similar podcasts in the future. Because
Definitely,
also,
and we should, yeah.
yeah, because also with these podcasts, as I said at the first one, we want to be viral. We want to cover viral topics as well. Of course, not always, because there is not always things that viral and we'd like to talk about, or we could talk about. But if we can and we want to, we will talk about viral stuff because this is what podcasts for. That we can just set it up in 20 minutes and then go for it. You know?
Of course, you have to be like quite viral on YouTube. So the algorithm is quite like unimaginable to a certain extent, because you gotta be quite viral on YouTube. So you have to discuss viral topics. So you have to be like the center of the viral like wave. With like it can be like a scandal, or it can be like something you've achieved, or it can be like death, because unfortunately on the internet, when somebody dies, when somebody is unfortunately not with us anymore, it really goes viral, man.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's and it to like to a level, it's quite like embarrassing for me, because we actually get money from those people who died. It's crazy. It's crazy to believe, at least for me. So, and of course, the other thing that you have to be quite random, because as you know, there are some things that you won't imagine that would go viral. For instance, world record of how many skips a stone could actually make on water, and it's quite random, you know.
Yeah.
Then it goes viral and it's on fire all over the internet. So it's like yeah, it's quite strange to understand YouTube algorithm, but and of course sometimes it requires quantity over quality, and this is why we try to work against. But in the
Yeah.
future, I believe we will actually reconsider this fact as well.
Yes. And yeah, also one thing to see in the next era, like this is the last 3 months actually, or maybe last 2 months. Uh, we have to highlight. Yep, this is the time when we've got very low views, but these been this so these have the least amount of time to be on YouTube. So I really hope it's because of that. Uh and most likely it's because of that, because I think the quality is better in the last 2 months than it has been before. Um, and yeah, this is just one thing to mention. We'd like to work on, of course, views as well in the future. This is why we try to have new things, try out new things, and try to have more quantity and more quality. And yeah, so one thing, we've got two fact videos from the last 2 months. At the beginning of these last 2 months, this is when a new series started about these astonishing facts, which got also a playlist. You can check it out if you feel like. Um, and I think this is a very new way, uh, a new experiment to see how this goes. And of course, these videos have got not that big of a amount of views, so all of them is around 10 to 20 views. But I'm glad for them because they are fast, they cover a lot of things, and it's very entertaining. Or I hope it's entertaining.
Of course, working on those videos. So I believe that we can both say that our final goal with YouTube is to learn animation
Yeah.
and to use our own footages
Yeah.
or footage, because you can put that in plural. So yeah, this is like a goal for both of us, I believe, but most of the part, of course, it's for you. And via these kind of videos, we need to kind of try to learn, or at
Yeah.
least you need to. So
At
it's
least
quite important.
As,
Yeah, yeah,
at least with editing, we try out new things, and this will once hopefully lead to animation, or as you said, using our own footage, because it's not necessarily has to be animated. It depends on, we cannot see it yet. Uh, but these videos definitely help us to experiment. And I love creating them. It's like learning new funny facts mostly, and there were some very weird stuff going on in this series. Um, yep, and then we've got two videos, uh, like in two halves. The population videos. This is about population density over population, and I think these are just very these are cool because it makes us pay attention to overpopulation, uh, by global uh, by the global problems within the global problems. This is one of the most serious we're facing with, especially if we talk about Asia and Africa. And it was a great way to view on it. Uh, and then again another video, astonishing fact video about Jeff Bezos. Uh, for these videos, I like to just have very random topics. I would say, like we've got one on Earth, one on the Roman Empire, one on Bezos, uh, and it's very random, but it's very cool because the main core of the series to be random.
This is what I wanted to add. That this is like essential considering these kind of series.
Yeah,
This is why. This is why you actually named it like exciting facts, because exciting facts could be only brought into via exciting topics as well, and the difference between those videos, of course.
yeah. And then we've got a podcast and a video.
Uh, Earth,
No.
like space.
What?
That yeah. Space. Like, has Earth seriously run out of space? This was like the title of the video, and it was like
Yeah.
divided into two parts, and then another podcast game. And
Yeah.
I believe we will talk about a little bit more about that. So you've edited and you've made those videos, which are separated into two. Any like additional thoughts?
No, we can just move on to the two podcasts which came after this.
Seriously,
What?
seriously, like you don't want to actually add anything.
Oh, I, I think you maybe missed it, but I've just talked about it before. I talked about the Bezos video. It's confusing because there is one population video, there is the Bezos video, and then there is another population video because it was separated into two parts.
Yeah. This is why. Oh shit. Yeah. All right, we can
Yeah.
move on. Sorry.
Yeah. So the two podcasts, one on diversity. It was just a sort of collaboration with the Europeans for Peace conference, which I attended to. It was really great, I think. We've got some very serious thoughts in this one, and it's very viewed. 44 views for podcast. This is really great. And yeah, it was a really cool one. And after this, we've got one on population. This is very much was related to the video, but it's important because in the video, again, just the same way as we see the smart city one. So in the video, we presented the topic,
yeah.
and then in the podcast, we talked about our opinions.
Yeah, so it was like a whole extraction of our thoughts. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'd like to add some thoughts on the diversity podcast,
Yeah.
like the 14th. Yeah, so this is where I believe it really shows that when you have the ability to share your content and to commercialize your content on other pages, on other websites, on other sites, social media accounts, and things like that, you will definitely reach more views.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's a thing because considering the topic like diversity, it's not that viral.
Yeah.
It actually really underestimated, I believe, underrated and underestimated. Like underestimated because it should reach a whole bunch of amount of people, I believe so, because it is quite needed to learn about diversity and this today's diverse world, of course. And as a matter of fact, we had the ability to share our video, our very first video, with people during our presentation day, and then we had the ability to share our podcast with, of course, people from other countries as well, because in the podcast it is explained why is that a fact and why we could do this. And this is what I wanted to actually emphasize here, that views are really really depend on um your the length of your ability to reach people.
Yes, it's indeed. And this podcast was just that, because we could reach more via the Europeans for Peace Conference, and, and that's
definitely.
really cool.
And I believe, have you checked the web page of theirs? Because I believe the podcast is on that web page as well.
Yeah,
or not?
It is shared, I think. I haven't checked it, but it should be shared on that platform as well. Yep, just a little bit fasten the things up. We've got one video on TikTok. This was successful because of the virality of TikTok, and I'm glad for it. This is an entertaining fact video. And then one on the golden mean. This was a very own video. This was all about just my thoughts, and I really loved it. And then another podcast on coronavirus. We've got 2 podcasts on coronavirus, just to see from what to where we are going, because back in March, it was not in March, but around that, back in the spring, it was very different than now, and we try to a little bit compare it to see where we are going. Just anywhere you wanna add something, just say it.
Of course, nothing here actually. So it was the same shit we've talked about quarantine, and we just discuss the difference between the 2 phases.
Yeah. And then one video on the Eiffel Tower, again, astonishing fact video, so it was very, very random, but that was the core of it. And then one on diversity. This was a summarizing video, which had some serious thoughts on it. Nothing special to add, but it was a really important one. Because as Patrick said, we need to spread awareness on diversity. It's very important. And then, again, I would say a new achievement was the 17th podcast, How to Be Successful, because for the first time we've got a third person in our podcast, and it made it very different, I think, as Domi came in as well, and 3 of us talked, and it was a way more exciting experience, a way more thoughts were put in one podcast, and thoughts run against thoughts. We got a little bit of arguments, and that was really great.
We can ensure that Tommy will be back, and you will hear a lot from him as well.
Yes. And then one video on Google. This is one of the least. I think this is the least reached videos. No one really cares about Google. Everyone just uses it.
Not just like that, because I believe 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago it was not right before Christmas, but the week before Christmas, and I believe all the Christmassy things were viral. So this is why this video actually didn't get to too many people, because who cares about Google actually, as you said, when it's Christmas time,
Yeah, of course. And then another podcast on Mars, colonizing Mars, again with Domi, and I really love this podcast.
Second favorite, I would say.
Yes, indeed. And then we've got Christmassy stuff going on, except the Marvel video that was already recorded. So in a Christmas period, we've got one Marvel video, because anything else was recorded. This Mario video was just an entertaining fact video, and then we've got 4 Christmas specials, or actually 3. One a podcast, a Christmas psychology video. This was my favorite Christmas special though. Really interesting to see Christmas this way. And then two videos which were just edits of TikTok videos, because we've got a TikTok series going on. Or we had a TikTok series going on for 24 days. Every day, Christmas fact from a country, and this was just summarized in 2 videos. So those did not have really a big purpose, as these were just summarizes of those TikToks. But it's important to highlight we are getting further in TikTok as well, and we will have more TikTok content later on, or I really hope so. We are on to creating more TikTok content.
We will definitely get to that part of the podcast as well, and we will talk about like future things.
Yes.
Like,
and like we are at the present right now, and just to talk about present fastly, because there's no much to say. We've got 46 subscribers at this point. We've got, I will check because it's interesting, our data is about our channel. We got 46 subscribers. Yep, I just said that. Somewhere I can check out our views, like the whole. Just a second. Yep, it should be here. Yep, we've got 2,500 views together, which in fact,
is it true though?
no, that's not the. No, that's not the views.
I believe those are the watched minutes.
No, this is the amount of people we reached, the amount of people who saw the video, though. Like, when you search for a video.
I see. So it's not like it's not considered as a view, but like almost.
Yeah, like it could have been a view, but it's not. I'm sorry. It was in Hungarian. It was nearly the same word, and I misread it. I will check out. Yep, 2020. This is what I need. But we've got 1,500 views. We've got 80 hours of watching, and 46 subscribers. So
8 hours is like all of our videos.
Yeah, like everything
combined
watched.
and twice. Because I believe that all those podcasts are about like 20 hours, maybe.
Maybe a little bit more, around 23 hours, something like that.
Yeah, we have to add like the minutes as well. Yeah, and all of the videos like about 10 hours, maybe.
No, all of the videos together. So the main videos together are 2.5 hours. I just saw that because I edited for this podcast.
Yeah.
And for that we have to add the entertaining fact video, so it's around 3 hours. 3 hours and
3 hours. So it's like 26 hours. So it's like almost like 4 times, but 3 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's 3 times of the all hours of our content. Yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah, I'm really satisfied with that, and with the views as well. I think it's so great. Like, seeing the whole views together. That's cool. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this is a starter channel. These are low for starter channels, but we're satisfied with it. Like all the big ones started somewhere.
Yeah, of course, and we have to mention that 1,000 views, more than 1,000 views, of course, it like wraps up a whole year of work, but it's huge.
Yes, yes, indeed. Uh, yes. And
Yeah, something to add, like to like the
yeah,
recent situation.
yeah, and the reaches, just to see, because the whole year the amount of people we reached out but they didn't watch are at 8,000 people, the exact number, uh, and yeah, that's great. Like this is this is important to see, because in the next year when we will have the same podcast within a 1 year, we can just compare it, how much we grew from this point on.
Definitely,
Yeah,
100% true.
and then
And of course,
yeah,
we I believe we should mention some social media effects as well, not just like YouTube. Or
uh,
shall I actually?
yeah, you can, of course, if you may.
Yeah. So of course we have an Instagram site as well. So it has 48 followers, and I believe it's quite good. And whenever we actually posted on uh Instagram page, I believe more views on YouTube like were there. I believe so.
Yes, yes, that's definitely true.
This is again where it shows that views are actually connected to the fact that how how big is your like social media like influence as well, because you need to, for instance, look at those TikTokers. They just do 1 minute videos, and on YouTube they have millions of views because of just like TikTok. Yep, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, we cannot help it. This is a situation, and as a YouTuber, you have to use it. Like, no choice. This is no choice in it, I think. Yep. And can you just say the TikTok that has, and then I think we can move on to the future, because maybe the TikTok can be important as well.
Yeah, of course, TikTok is important because, of course, um, I believe there are more people on TikTok than any kind of other social site.
Yeah, especially after 2020.
Yeah, we have 14 followers, 155 likes, and we have like, actually it's about like sorry for the background noise. I would say that the average views are about 150, so it's
Yeah.
quite good.
Yes. Um. And then the future. This is maybe the most exciting what will come, and honestly, some huge changes will come to our channel. Because there will be a total rebranding of the channel, renaming, new index picture, new intro, new outro, new design, everything gonna be new. Um, and yep, it's because the name Black Arts is just just doesn't work. There are 500 channels with this name, and we cannot help it. We have to realize that with this name, people cannot find us. And if we change the name, we want it to then also do a whole rebrand, maybe a hopefully a better rebrand. And I just like to ask you, Patrick, to introduce our name and the theme of the design.
So, do we tell the name right now, like the whole thing?
Yeah, I think
Shall-
we can.
Shall we? All right. So, the name will be like drum rolls or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
drum
right.
roll.
All
But
right. All right. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We can't add actually, but like,
But
the
wait,
new
wait,
name will.
wait. I think I can add drum rolls. You won't hear it, but I.
This is why I believe we shouldn't do this, because we will definitely fuck up.
No.
I won't be able to make it on time. You shouldn't do this, please. Don't. It was a joke. It was a joke, man. Chill. It was a joke. You
I
shouldn't
know
do
it was a
anything.
joke. I know it,
All,
but
all right. So then, yeah. So for all those three people who are here, finally reveals that our new name will be actually, it sounds quite cringy for the first time, but I believe it's brilliant. So it will be Mind Quake. And of course, the whole concept of that was that we use our minds in order to think during days, of course. And of course, all those wise energies and vibes and all those mindful thoughts that we have comes from our brain. And our brain is actually quite connected to our mind. We have to say that. And then the quake. Of course, quake. It's not cake. It's not um, break. It's not anything like that. It's quake, and it comes from the word earthquake. And we definitely know that earthquake is the oh, I actually don't know the definition of an earthquake, so I have to look it up. But I know you're like a quite nerdy one when it comes down to geography, so I believe you know that.
yeah. So earthquake is when the tectonic plates of Earth moves. Uh, and you can feel it. Like that part everyone knows. Like
Of course, and of course we have to mention that the whole concept wasn't that we have tectonic plates in our brain and those are actually like coincide or something like that and moving, because our brain is one of the most complex things in the universe, as we all know that fact, of course, and this is why we have chosen the name Quake, because it's like a huge thing to actually think of that. But like our brain, of course, like not literally, but like hypothetically, it moves.
yeah,
Of course, all the like chemical and all the neurological things are moving in our brain every single millisecond, of course. And this was like the concept behind it, like the whole thing. And of course, because of the earthquake thing, we will try to um, make it up for it a little bit. So like during the edits, during the intro, outro, um, like I don't know how do you what you call the upper part of your YouTube channel, like the picture, which is like
oh, that's just a background picture.
all right, because in Hungary have we in Hungarian we have a different word for it,
Yeah, yeah,
like a headline, maybe we can say that. Oh no, background, yeah, of course. So yeah, the background will be different, definitely, and of course all the colors will be different. So we will try to actually combine all the colors of the earth. So brown, dark brown, um, dark red, maybe black will stay definitely, and somewhere like orange and green, like the dark green will do. And of course, we thought about dark blue, and these will be like darker colors, I believe so. But actually, this is what we have discussed,
yeah.
haven't we? Yeah,
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 yes.
yeah, of course.
Of course, there are ideas for all these designs, but you will just see them. We don't want to spoiler it, and of course, there may well be some changes within the design. So, we don't plan to talk about those right now. But the fact is that yes, we are changing our name to Mind Quick, and so the design to an sort of earthquake and earth colored theme.
This time we have to mention that this is not like an internal thing. So it doesn't come from the inside. It's not our like this is we didn't actually want to do this.
Oh yeah,
We weren't supposed to do so because we both thought that Blackout was a cool name, and but it's compulsory, and it's from an external thing because it is quite true that our views are not that like we can succeed until we have more than 500 people and channels to race with, to compete with, just because of our names are quite the same.
yeah, yes, and it's not worth it. Um,
Definitely.
Yep. And so, even though we really liked Walkout, um, you know, guys, change is inevitable, and this change is needed, and I think I like the new theme, the new name, very much. So, I don't think it will disappoint you, and I don't think we will disappoint you because we plan to create some great stuff in 2021. Um, there will be new types of videos. I really hope we can create more videos than in 2020, and we really don't want to have a month of breaks between videos. So like, we want to make it. We want to make videos like more videos in every month, and new types of videos. We've got some really great ideas, I think, and also the podcast will continue, and probably Domi will come as well. So 3 of us at least gonna be here. Yes, and just the fact is that after this 1 year of YouTube, we didn't reach much. But sort of I see this year as the year when we experimented out how to start, and now we can actually start what we always wanted. Since we planned YouTube, or I sort of process it this way. We've got a better quality video quality because for Christmas I got really good light and a new background, and yes, this will be a sort of new start for the whole channel, and as well for the podcast, because there will be a new season. But I think this will be the actual start of the channel, or I really hope. And when we see back to 2021, then I can say we accomplished some cool stuff here.
We have to mention that success doesn't come like overnight. We have to mention that, and of course, you can be like unsuccessful, for instance, like for 10 years or 20 years or more than that, but you gotta keep going, and because we love what we do, we actually don't mind on the first place views and subscribers and things like that. But of course, in order to develop ourselves more and to reach that level of improvement that we really want to, in order to that, we definitely need you guys, of course, as well. Because the more views we have, the more subscribers, the more supporters we have, the more possibilities we will have, of course, in the future. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely true. It's definitely true.
And we wanna keep it. And I think we will keep moving forward. We will keep moving forward with low views as well. As you said, success does not come overnight. But I believe one day, or not just believe, but more like hope one day, we will look back to this exact day and say, yup, that was worth it.
This will happen definitely.
Yeah.
So we
And
are hard workers. We are workhorses, both of us. So
yeah, and I can already say how much I gained from Europe and doing Europe. I so there is no regret in doing this, guys. And even if this was um, just for a few amount of people, I'm glad we could get out there and reach that few amount of people.
one is more than zero people, you know. And sometimes you just have to be grateful, and I'm quite thankful because with those videos we've reached a lot of people, and this is where it gets really serious. I believe that just just to start something, in order to just only try to actually help one person, or just like one person, not just like help, or just to educate, to learn, to grow together with that one specific person, it's definitely worth it, you know.
Yes, yes, and indeed. Uh, and I think we've got to the end of this podcast, to the end of the last episode of this season. Um, I really, really wish you a happy New Year's. Uh, Hopefully another video will come. Hope we fingers crossed that today. But we won't make promises. Um,
It depends on the technology right now, and of course for me as well, because I'm like in charge of the like not like the video, but like the release of it. So I'm gonna do my best, and I will try to. It is estimated to be released around 8 o'clock, like considering the time zone that
yeah.
that Hungary
This
is in.
is
So it's like
CET, Central European Time Zone.
yeah,
So like it's the same in Amsterdam, in Berlin, in cities like that. And just before the parties of New Year's, I think it will be a great bump up. So look back to the channel around 8 o'clock. And thank you for the attention for the whole year. And just you can follow us on, as usual, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Some great contents there as well. And a like and a subscribe is still very appreciated. We're going forward. We promise we will go forward. And thank you for all of you guys.
you guys. See ya.
See ya.